Okay, sorry for the technical difficulties. So what I was saying was when we're getting our heart rate up, we burn calories, we burn fat, we burn our extra carbohydrates. If you're if you eat a lot of rice, if a lot of bread, that's carbohydrates. Through these physical activities, we could burn the extra. So anyway, moving on, going for a run before or after school, biking around in the neighborhood, and playing games, physical games with your neighbors is could be one of the, in a way, easier tasks to do. So for example, instead of just going if instead of just walking to school, you could upgrade the your physical activity that early or after school maybe, and turn it into a jog. Keep that heart rate up, keep that rhythm up, and etc. So level three, leisure, flexibility, and strength physical activities. Physical fitness should be fun, of course. If you want to keep an active and healthy lifestyle, your physical activity should be tailored to your interest and preference. That means carving time for activities you love. After all, it gets easier to get fit and stay fit when you enjoy a workout that does not feel like a chore. I am I strongly agree with this, as I am not that fond of push ups, pull ups, and all those body weight exercises. I prefer powerlifting and weightlifting exercises. For example, the clean and jerk, deadlift, shoulder press, and other stuff like that. So it's each to their own. So it may work for you, it may not work for me. It's just technically a journey that you have to discover yourself. Don't worry, you have plenty of time. While we're not gonna lie that these activities are really a stretch for some people, students like students like you are at a good age to start building muscle strength, endurance, and flexibility as young as you are. Don't be afraid to start with small light weights. And the important thing is progress is key, like what I've said a while ago. You don't necessarily, especially at your age, you don't necessarily have to go to a gym, start with 100 pounds, then etc. etc. You need to find your own journey. You need to find your own start and start from there. Each to their own, like what I said. Everyone is different. Now, level 3 requires your heart to beat faster than normal and cause you to breathe faster and sweat more. As your muscles use more oxygen, your heart beats faster, your breath faster, and more deeply to meet oxygen demand. Unlike vigorous aerobics, however, leisure, flexibility, and strength involve short bursts of activity followed by short bursts of rest, like in basketball, football, soccer, and tennis, when done for at least 20 minutes a day in bouts of 10 minutes or more at a time. These activities provide similar fitness, health, and wellness benefits to those as of aerobics and recreational. They also help you build motor skills and contribute to healthy weight management. So yeah, in addition to that, again, flexibility and strength are being at play here. So you can reach further, lift heavier, and the likes. Now, of course, level 4 to cut down on this is, especially in these challenging times, this is very important. The activity that occupies a top spot in physical fitness pyramid is physical inactivity level. We don't necessarily remove inactivity in our day-to-day life, but we suggest cutting it down and not being too inactive. For students like you, inactivity might look like hours spent binge watching your favorite shows on Netflix or mindlessly scrolling on social media. You know the drill. There is such thing as too much screen time, so go ahead and watch an episode or two, but make sure to balance it with other physical activities in the pyramid. We all need to take our time to recover from daily stresses and prepare for new challenges, so periods of rest and sleep are important for good health. Some activities of daily living, such as studying, reading, and even moderate amount of screen time, which is appropriate and, let's face it, required in these times, but general inactivity or sedentary living is harmful to your health. Your choices from active areas of the pyramid should exceed your choices from the inactivity area. So this last paragraph basically means that your inactivity period should be less than your activity period, and also it should not equal as well. It needs to be less always than your activity period, the period where you move, the period where you bike, you exercise, you swim, or etc., etc. So sorry about that. Okay, we're back. Sorry for that technical difficulty again. So before we start our seat work, let's stretch. So everybody stand up and make sure you're wearing shoes, make sure you're wearing the appropriate attire, a proper shirt, a proper short or jogging pants, and socks. Okay, so everybody stand up and clear your area, because we're gonna stretch, we're gonna move. So remove anything that could hinder you, or that you can hit when you're stretching. So let's go and let's play this. Okay, so head first, then up, and then pull it down, and then to the side, other side. Good. And then let's start with your arms forward, pull it to your other side, and then do the other arm, then behind your head, the other arm, and stretch your back, your waist, and touch your toes. Good. And bend to one side, bend to the other, and put your knee to your chest, other knee, then backwards. Very good. And the other foot, leg rather. Then let's work on your ankles. So bend it to one side, not too much pressure, you don't want to break it. Same foot but other side. Now the other foot, same thing. Other side. And then let's do rotations. Clockwise first, then counterclockwise. Other foot, clockwise, and counterclockwise. Okay, good. Now let's move on to the activity. I've prepared a special activity for you where you need to use your body movements in order to answer my questions. So for example, let's just meet these. For example, your answer is A. In order for you to answer, this is what you're going to do. You're going to squat. Similarly for B, you're going to do the airplane. Hands sideways and lean forward in one foot up. And then for C, jumping jacks. Okay, good. Remember to hold your position or keep doing the movement until I tell you to stop, okay? And let's move on. First is, let me move this. Now, How many levels are there in the health activity pyramid? This is just an easy seat work. So if your answer is A, squat. If your answer is B, airplane. If your answer is C, jumping jacks. Okay, and start. Okay, I can see a few people moving. Okay, the correct answer is 4. So if you did a squat, very good. I'm taking note of these. Again, the answer is A, 4 levels. Then next, sedentary activities, watching TV, playing computer games, should be done blank. A, more often than physical activities. B, less often than physical activities. Or C, as often as physical activities. This is very easy, so come on, let's move. Okay, I see a lot of people getting the correct answer. And stop moving. The correct answer is B, less often than physical activities. Remember in the slide, things to cut down on, I told you that sedentary activities for inactive periods should be less than compared to physical activities. Okay, very good. Most of you got it right. And number 3 is... Stop. Okay, sorry Stop. For that. Stop. Sorry. So, how often should you do leisure activities and flexibility and strength activities according to the physical activity pyramid? A, 4 to 6 times a week. B, once a week. Or C, 2 to 3 times a week. Okay, so now let's move. Okay, stop moving. Now the correct answer is C, 2 to 3 times a week. If you did jumping jacks, congratulations, you got it right. So there we go. Congrats on answering the activity. Now, on to the next topic. This will be very quick. Health and skill related fitness components. Now, there are 6 components. Agility, number 1, is the ability to change position of your body and to control movement of your whole body. Agility is an important quality in many sports because you must change direction rapidly and always have your body under control. Now, for balance, this is the ability to keep an upright posture while either standing or moving. Good balance is essential in many activities like skating, surfing, skiing, and gymnastics, or even in basketball. A lot of us play basketball. Balance is important when you're not necessarily jumping, but when you're landing. If your balance isn't all that good, you could end up with an injury, for example, an ankle sprain or something like that. Now for power, it is the ability to perform with strength at a rapid pace. Strength and speed are both involved in power. Football players, swimmers, shot putters, disc throwers, and high jumpers are examples of athletes who typically have high degree of power. So personally, I put a lot of emphasis on power because what I do is Olympic weightlifting, and some powerlifting moves. So I do squats, I do clean and jerks and stuff like that. Exercises like that. So if you don't have you have the strength, but if you don't have the speed to execute that strength, your lift won't be successful. So both are as important as the other. Okay, then the last 3. Reaction time. It is the amount it takes to start a movement once your senses signals the need to move. People with good reaction time can usually start quickly in track and swimming or react quickly in ping pong or karate. This could also be applied in boxing and Muay Thai or MMA, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And reaction time, as well as decision making could also affect your reaction time. So, coordination next. It is the integration of hand, eye, and foot movements. This component is necessary for success in such sports as baseball, softball, tennis, golf, and basketball. Also for bowling, you have to count the number of steps before you bowl the ball. so that your legs won't be crossed, your legs, your foot won't get in the way of the ball, and similar situations. So speed, it is the ability to cover distance in a short amount of time. Speed is a very important factor in many sports and activities. Short runs are used to evaluate speed. Let's set the prime example. Usain Bolt. He's the quote unquote fastest man alive. So yeah, that is speed. So yes, congratulations, we're over. But please do take note on these 6 components of health and skill related fitness components, because it will be applied to your assignment, which is demonstrate in a video or slide presentation each component of the physical activity pyramid and point out the health and skill related fitness components involved. Submission For the submission, I will create a Canvas assignment tab that is due 11:59, the day before our next meeting. So yeah, so if we're gonna try to do a slide presentation, maybe you could do a word for every page that there are pictures, or a picture of you doing the movement. Describe the movement, what are the on what level it is in the pyramid, and what component of physical activity it applies to. Everyone clear? Okay, thank you. That's our class. Class dismissed.